What's up, Juventus fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today, hopefully, we're going to have a good show for you. It's a nice little appetizer leading you to, hopefully, what will be a very eventful week of the transfer market. This is like our first time. Obviously, last week was the first time it was starting to heat up, starting to sizzle. Now, hopefully, we'll actually get some real news about what's actually happening. What do we have for you in today's show? We have what is with Ronaldo? What's the situation going on with him? Then we've got Locatelli is helping Juventus out. We've got Ramsey for Pjanic swap. We're going to talk about that. Mentioned it a little bit yesterday, but we'll talk about it more. And then also we have Pjaca is staying in Turin. Stay tuned and we'll fill you in on it now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Sunday, July 18th, 2021. And before we do anything, like I always say, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. It's really helping us out. So please subscribe and please hit that like button. If you're here and you're listening to a video, it's a small thing to ask, but I know sometimes, it's just going out of the way sometimes can be a little bit of a hassle, but please hit that like button. It really makes a difference and makes sure we can bring you more content going forward. We're excited. We enjoy doing this. We love doing this. Just help us with our passion. That's all we ask. All right. So we'll start with the news today and what we have. The very first thing starting off, and for you Fagioli fans will probably like this, but Tutto Sports reporting that with Artur being out and the other midfielders joining the preseason late, Fagioli could get his chance. Allegri always liked Nicolo. So basically, we hear it every day. We hear all the push for Fagioli, for Nicky Beans to get out there and play more and more. They want to see it happen. Well, for you guys that are, hoping and dreaming and wanting all this, it's going to happen now. Hopefully he lives up to the hype and hopefully he can cement himself as one of the, premier young players going forward for Juventus, and maybe can actually be someone who actually comes up through the program and be a youth prodigy, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, then we'll move on. We've got Locatelli news to talk about. Gazzetta dello Sport saying that the feeling is that Juventus and Sassuolo will agree to terms based on a 25 million euro fee. To me, that's okay. Well, let me finish it. Sorry, I am cutting myself off every time I do this. The fact that Locatelli wants to join Juventus and refuse other offers is helping Juventus. So yeah, right now Locatelli's being a big help to the club right now by basically just denying every other club, saying I don't want them, I don't want to go there. I want Juve, make Juventus happen. So it's really helped them take away a little bit of that power that Sassuolo has currently over his destination and where he ends up going. Basically, and I think the 35 million euros when I say say, I don't want to say safe, I want to say that's a fair margin, because I think Juventus really was more on that 30 end. Sassuolo was on 40. If we can get them right down the middle, that's perfect. To me, that's all I can really ask for the club and for them going forward. Then we've got Fabrizio Romano is talking about Ramsey and Pjanic, saying there's no chance for the swap deal to take place as of today. Barcelona is not considering Aaron Ramsey, also because of his high salary, and Miralem Pjanic is still not accepted to part ways with Barca on mutual agreement, despite club pushing for this solution. Yeah, if you've been in the channel before, you know my position on this. You know that I don't want Miralem Pjanic back. Not that I dislike Miralem Pjanic. I just don't think we need to go back. I don't think he's a solid option, especially with the reports right now that it's really going to be one midfielder. If we're having Miralem Pjanic, that means we completely failed and we didn't end up getting Locatelli, whatever that is. So that's how I look at it right now. I would like to get Aaron Ramsey obviously off the books, but I don't know if I'd be willing to deal with a situation that just brings another one back in. So we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully some other names will pop up. I'm afraid right now we're just going to be waiting out a lot of these players until their contracts are done, and we'll be talking about it year in and year out until it's over. That's how I look at it, at least. I know this is not the happiness, joy that you want to hear from the news right now. Anyway, and then we have Gazzetta dello Sport talking about Dybala to stay. They're reporting that the feeling between Allegri, Dybala, and Juve is great. All parties want to find an agreement and continue together. Perfect. Let's move forward. Finally get this behind us. Hopefully they can sign him onto a new deal, and Dybala will be a big part of Juventus going forward. Or remain a big part, not be a big part, remain that. And then we have Calcio Mercato talking about Ronaldo, saying that, again, I think it's more just repetitive news, but just basically enforcing this idea that Jorge Mendes will ask the club if there's a possibility to renew Ronaldo's contract for another year. So, I know that there's negative, positives. There's, people that love Ronaldo. There's people that are not thrilled with what Ronaldo brought. They feel like it was a bit underwhelming compared to what we expected from Ronaldo to be at for the club. I think, honestly, currently, if you can get Ronaldo for another year, that's fine. If he actually wants to sign a contract for it, that's fine. Especially if he's going to work with the wages, and it'll be less detrimental to Juventus's needs or hope for the future. That's helpful. I mean, he is still about 30 guaranteed goals a season, so I can't really complain there. But it's just the issues, the chemistry issues, sometimes the lack of effort and stuff like I've seen to other aspects of the game coming to him. That stuff bothers me. That's my personal opinion on it. Let me know. I understand also. It would be better to move him, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen this summer. It doesn't sound like now. Before it sounded very likely. Actually, we'll get into this next story when we'll talk about it a little bit more. Basically, the next story is Corriere dello Sport is saying that Icardi wants to join Juventus. Something that could happen should Mbappe leave for Real Madrid and Ronaldo join PSG. So that's basically the circumstance that really has to make that we're looking at right now for Ronaldo to leave the club would just be PSG. It seems Manchester United is off the table. Again, something that I was pushing for, that I was really hopeful. Bring our boy Pogba back with the switch for Ronaldo. I was hoping that they'd want to bring him back because Ronaldo's still, he's still a huge talent. He still can provide a lot for a team regardless. But, it seems a bit unfortunate that they don't really seem to be interested in doing that right now. And then when we're talking about Icardi, we talked about it a little bit yesterday and the day before. He wants Juventus. We'll see what happens there. There's a lot of pieces that really have to fall before he becomes one. But like I said, I opened up a little bit more to the idea of him returning, mainly because the other names not a lot of them are exciting me. And like the ones that you have Kyle George, who is a potential option. But right now, I think the word is that he's kind of leaning more toward Milan than anything at the current time. So we'll see going forward. And then finally, we have Pjaca is Calcio Mercato saying that Pjaca in Torino, that he will stay in Turin, but it's Torino that wants to bring in Pjaca on loan with an option to buy. See, this is the one where, that's fine because Pjaca's he's our most likely to definitely not be at Juventus next year. But also, my main issue is I'm kind of annoyed right now with Torino, if that makes sense. Especially, there was the rumor that potentially Belotti could be an option that Allegri was looking at and maybe possibly pursuing. And, the Torino Cairo out there, he basically just shut it down and said, no, I'll never sell to Juventus, whatever, basically bleep Juventus kind of thing. My situation with that, the reason I get annoyed at that, here's the thing. I don't want Belotti. I saw what he did. He did not perform well, especially this summer in the Euro 2020, missing penalties. Just isn't a top tier striker or anything like that for Juventus going forward. But regardless of that, don't want him, whatever. The issue with that going forward, though, is that Cairo basically just the relationship between him and Juve, it's trash. I don't understand. Juventus has, looked at other options and sold other players to them before, yet he's treating Juventus this way. If they really want Pjaca, if there's somebody else that would want Pjaca first, I'd rather send him over there than send him to Cairo, mainly just because of his personality. And he's to figure out his issues with Juventus anyway. I understand it's a rivalry, but at the same time, get over yourself, especially if you're trying to bring in players that are Juve players. But that's really all I have for you today. It's kind of a short little rundown, a little appetizer to lead you into the week. There's going to be a lot more, I'm sure, that'll be popping up within the next few days, especially now once the Monday, whatever hits, where maybe some talks with Locatelli will definitely pick up, and hopefully they'll get it done. I think Sassuolo and Juve would both like to get this situation organized, figured out within the next, week or so, hopefully. And I think we all would like that too. The sooner the better. Anyway, make sure you check in with us tomorrow. We'll have another rundown of all things Juventus news. We'll update you as soon as possible as all the information comes out as quickly as possible as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay up to date with all of our latest videos as soon as they drop. Follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.